rules which require developers to use its own in-app payment system.
Those were the headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. Now, on What's Brewing today, Intangles Lab has disrupted the market with its digital twin technology that powers services such as vehicle health monitoring, operations, automation, and driver behavior monitoring in the mobility segment. It also provides predictions on vehicle health. The startup has bagged $10 million in a Series A funding round led by Baring Private Equity. How does the firm plan to use the funds, and what is the growth plan? We are now joined by Anup Patil, the co-founder of Intangles Lab. Anup, thank you so much for joining us on Startup Street today. Like I said, you essentially provide a whole host of services, including monitoring vehicle health, monitoring driver behavior via your digital twin and machine learning paradigms to OEMs and fleet operators. Talk to us about your technology and what exactly is it that you're solving for?
So first of all, thanks Arundhati for having us on the show. So Entangles Entangles Lab has developed a proprietary technology where we have an entire end-to-end stack of solution. We have our in-house, completely in-house developed, design and developed black box that sits onto vehicles, canvas, and collects data at a massive rate. And then that data is sent onto a cloud platform, which is where we provide predictive insight in terms of the component level performance. And then we also provide deeper insight in terms of the overall driver behavioral aspects, and where we go beyond the conventional overspeeding, hard braking, and harsh acceleration, but give a deeper insight in terms of how the overall transmission utilization is and how it impacts the overall performance and the life of the vehicle. Then we also have a patented algorithm on fuel management, which is where we give insight in terms of the amount of fuel that has been filled. And if at all there is any kind of a pilferage, then the amount of fuel that has been pilfered along with date, time, and location. This has become a big a solution that has been adopted by OEs, fleet operators, and asset owners, and some of the large oil and gas companies who provide this as a value-added service. And that's where we are looking at using this round of fundraise that we have done with Barings in India.
All right, you've so far been catering to conventional fuels, and now you're looking to create solutions for the EV sector as well. So what's in the pipeline on that front? Have you already started something? What's the plan?
So on EV segment, we are already live with one of a large Indian OE as a standard offering on their platform. So on EV, we have moved away from digital twin, and we are using ambient cognitive AI, where we use a host of other parameters from vehicle and in and around vehicle in terms of the driver behavior, ambient conditions under which it is being operated, and give a far more accurate level of prediction on the distance to empty or the SOC value of a battery and the age of the battery. But beyond that, Entangles is also now foraying into alternative fuels like LNG, CNG, and also working towards giving the solution in hydrogen-based fuel, as well as a part of our larger expansion plan that we have in terms of our entire tech stack that we are developing.
Right. And you've raised $10 million. So how are you planning on spending the funds? Expansion and hiring is your top focus areas?
Yeah, so the primary focus is going to be now to expand across multiple countries. We are already seeded our solution in Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, Vietnam, then Belgium, Spain, some part of Middle East, and then North America. We also have a dedicated on-ground team where the solution will be rolled out and offered to OEs, fleet operators, and large enterprise companies as a part of our larger rollout strategy. So in terms of hiring plans, we will be aggressively hiring in sales, marketing, and to support this entire global expansion. We will also be hiring on the tech stack or the technology side as well to support this larger ambition of taking this solution outside of India to the global level.
All right. I'm going to talk to you about your global expansion a little bit more. But before that, talk to us about the traction you're seeing for your services out here in India. Where does your revenue stand, and what's the growth target that you set for yourself for this year?
So we have been growing at a massive pace of around 3x year over year. And this year also, we are poised to grow at around 3x. Next year, we have an ambitious target of growing more than around 6x in terms of overall annual recurring revenue, and targeting at around 350 to 400 crores worth of revenue is what we will be planning to go after in the next financial year. So with that kind of a aggressive plan, we have seen a lot of traction, not only from the direct market where fleet operators are latching onto this solution, but most of the OEMs in the Indian market are now warming up to this or engagement that they are working upon and figuring out a way to roll out this as a part of their standard offering to their fleet operators. So all the large commercial vehicle operators are something that we are already in talks with and working in terms of establishing a partnership with them as a part of a rollout strategy just in India itself.
All right, and you were also mentioning that you've planted your seeds of your solutions in so many countries. When will we see it live, and what's the revenue mix you're looking at?
See, one of the biggest challenges that we have seen to roll out in these countries that I have just named is the level of compliance that is required, whether it is from the hardware standpoint. So we have already applied for FCC CE certification, and there are a lot of local regulatory requirements that are already that we have applied for. One, we anticipate that all these regulatory requirements will be completed by mid of April or end of April, and then a larger rollout will start happening across all these countries. So that's one part. But in terms of the overall revenue mix, in next financial year, we still see a significant chunk of our revenue will be coming from India, which will be roughly around 90-10, which means it will be still heavy on the India side. But year 2 onwards, we see a significant contribution from international markets. And pretty much we are looking at around 60-40 ratio, where 40% of our revenue contribution will start happening from year 2 from these international markets, where we already have seen a good amount of inquiry and traction that we have been generating in these markets.
All right, Anup, we're completely out of time, but thank you so much for joining us on the show, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thanks, Arundhati, for having us.
Well, amid the large equity inflows into startups in the